You ever feel like you need a dictionary just to keep up with modern dating? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. A whole new language has popped up, especially on social media. So today we're going to decode one of its most common and, let's be honest, most mysterious terms, the soft launch.
Okay, so picture this. It's a familiar scene, right? You're just mindlessly scrolling through your feed, maybe on your lunch break, and a post from a friend kind of catches your eye. It's not some big announcement, nothing dramatic, just something's a little different.
You know exactly the kind of photo I'm talking about. It's a very carefully framed shot. You might see 2 drinks on the table instead of one, or maybe a man's jacket just casually draped over a chair. Oh, and the classic, 2 shadows stretching out side by side on the pavement. It's like a little breadcrumb trail of clues.
It's all so subtle, so intentional, and it's designed to leave you asking one simple question. What is going on here? Well, that's exactly what we're here to break down.
All right, so to really get this, first we need to define our terms. Because this isn't just random posting, you know? It's a very specific strategy with a name, and it's the total opposite of a much bolder move.
According to the experts over at Merriam-Webster, a soft launch is pretty much what it sounds like, a gentle introduction. It's the art of saying, hey, I'm with someone, without actually saying who they are, or even confirming it's a romance at all. It's all about creating that little air of mystery.
And on the other side of the coin, you've got the hard launch. This is the complete opposite. We're talking the full-face, tagged photo, meet the love of my life kind of post. It's a huge public declaration that leaves zero room for doubt. You can think of it like the difference between a movie trailer and the actual opening night premiere.
This tweet right here, this is what blew the whole thing up. Comedian Rachel Sennett just put the term on the map. It so perfectly captured the vibe with a bit of humor, the elbow, the side profile. Yep, it's the example that everyone just immediately got.
Okay, so we know what it is, but the bigger question is, why are so many people doing it? This isn't just some quirky little trend, it's actually rooted in some very real, very modern psychological needs. In a world where we're basically encouraged to share every little thing, the soft launch is this strategic act of privacy. It's a way to test the waters of a new romance without that pressure of everyone you know asking a million questions. You get to control the narrative. And let's be real, if things don't work out, there's no need for that public and often super awkward digital cleanup.
And believe it or not, there's a whole playbook for this. Publications like The Knot have literally laid out the classic moves. The second coffee cup, the shared shadow, the hand reaching for a piece of bread. It's become its own visual language that signals I'm not alone, without revealing any real details. It's subtle, it's mysterious, and it's kind of become an art form.
But this trend is more than just a social media game. Researchers are actually starting to look at its real-world impact on relationships. So the big question is this cautious approach actually good for couples?
First off, let's just get a sense of how common this really is. A study in Actus Psychologia found that a whopping 62% of young adults have soft-launched a partner. So no, this isn't some niche little thing. It's basically a mainstream dating ritual at this point.
But here's the thing. Does all this mystery and all this hinting actually build a stronger bond, or does it maybe create some insecurity? Well, the research points to a single critical factor that makes all the difference.
And here it is, communication. It all comes down to communication. The study found a negative link with trust and satisfaction unless the decision to soft launch was mutual. See, when one person does it without talking to their partner, it can create some serious insecurity. But when a couple decides to do it together, it becomes this healthy way to set a shared digital boundary. And look at that, the satisfaction scores are way, way higher.
Now, the term soft launch doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's part of this massive, constantly evolving glossary that Gen Z is building to navigate a dating landscape that is, well, let's face it, more complicated than ever before.
Take monkey branching, for instance. It's this idea that you're already lining up your next relationship before your current one is even officially over. A pretty vivid, if maybe a little unsettling, metaphor, right? Then you've got beige flags. Now, these aren't red flags or green flags. They're just odd little quirks. You know, things that make you pause and go, huh. Like someone who is way too into birdwatching or insists on paying their rent in cash. Not a deal breaker, just uniquely weird. And finally, there's woke fishing. This is when someone on a dating app pretends to be way more progressive than they actually are just to attract a partner. It's basically catfishing, but for your political and social values.
So after all this, what does it really tell us about modern love?
What are the new rules of engagement in this digital-first world we're all living in?
I think here's the core of it. In an age of constant oversharing, privacy is no longer the default setting. It's something you have to actively choose and protect. Trends like the soft launch really just show a generation trying to find that balance between sharing their happiness and protecting it from the pressures of a public audience.
So let's just boil it down. Soft launching is a tool to control your story online. Talking about it with your partner is absolutely crucial if you want it to be a healthy thing. And all these new terms, they're not just slang. They're a roadmap for understanding the unique challenges and strategies of finding a real connection today.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. When our lives are so incredibly public, we have to start asking ourselves, in the age of an audience, how much of your love story is actually for you, and how much is for them? It's a huge question about authenticity, about privacy, and about what it really means to build a connection in the 21st century.